To take the exam costs money. To take the course costs money. What's going on, workaholics? It's Amy J. I'm back with another video, so thanks for tuning in. Today we're talking about jumping into the real estate business. Okay, so I'm going to give you my perspective and some things that I did before I jumped in. Now, the first thing to consider is the fact that this business is tough. Okay, whether you are in the business, thinking about getting in the business, or know somebody who is in the business, I need you right now to prepare yourself to have a higher level of respect, because this business is difficult. And what they show you on HGTV or all those other TV shows is just not it. Okay, they show you the absolute bare minimum as far as what's involved in a real estate transaction. Now, yeah, it does go like that a little bit, you know, so a lot of people jump in because they're like, oh, I can do that. That looks fun. That looks cool. Then you hop in and you're like, what? You don't want to be a percentage of the people who fail in the real estate business because you failed to do your research before you jumped in. So that's the number one thing, is do your research before you can study what it means to be a buyer's agent or a listing agent. Before you think about agency and brokerages and all that other stuff, you need to understand what it actually means to be a real estate agent. You need to do research on the difference between a real estate agent and an investor, a real estate agent and a wholesaler. You need to do your research, because a lot of people, I meet so many people who inquire about getting into real estate, and all of that stuff is included in real estate, but they think that being a real estate agent means one of those things, and that's just not the truth. So the number one thing that you have to do is research. I did research, but I've always known that I wanted to be in real estate. I've always known I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've always known that I wanted to be a businesswoman. So with me, getting into the real estate industry was going to happen. It was just a matter of when. But I've always wanted to do it. So when I jumped in, I had a fairly high level of knowledge as far as what to expect. So if you don't, you're going to find yourself in a very awkward situation when it comes time to actually get work done, because it's a lot. It's a very difficult business to be in. So research is the most important thing, okay? Everything. The word real estate, the meaning of real estate versus realtor, all the other aspects of it that are involved as far as buying, renting, selling, becoming an investor. If you want to do flips yourself, like, you need to know everything about the word real estate and all of its outside meanings and everything like that. So then once you do the research on that, then you want to study. Once you decide that, hey, I'm going to go ahead and take the plunge, I'm going to go ahead and get my real estate license, I'm going to go ahead and sign up for this class, before they can even teach you anything, you need to have some kind of knowledge as far as what you're about to pay for, because to take the exam costs money. To take the course costs money. Okay, not just time. You're putting your money into this. So the moment you decide to sign up for a course, you're already investing in this career, whether you're in it or not. So you actually need to do a little bit of a little bit of studying before the actual studying takes place. I get this one question a lot: is it worth it? From my point of view, it is absolutely worth it. If you're passionate and if you're knowledgeable about real estate, then it's worth it, because you get what you give. If you are somebody who has a great, strong work ethic, and somebody who loves to learn about the industry that you're in, and somebody who loves to teach other people about things, like as far as real estate is concerned, you have to be willing to teach the people that you're trying to represent, because knowledge and value, you have to bring value to the table. So is it worth it? Yes, if you're willing to bring all those things into consideration, not just thinking that you can get into it and the only thing that your eyesight is on is money. Let's face it, we're all in this for money. We all want to build a great business and name recognition and everything like that. However, if you're only thinking about a paycheck, then you're probably not putting those values into your client and your business that's going to allow you to run that business for a long time. There's people who got into it for only money, and then as now they have multi-million-dollar brokerages, or just have so many clients, people that's on TV, that the shows that you watch, they might have even started thinking about the money, but then eventually they realize that, hey, this is not something that I can only do with a one-track mind and trying to think about my next paycheck. So when you do it the right way, business just rolls in. People want to come to you because they want to learn something. You can teach them how the best way to do this, and that's what attracts more people. This is a relationship business, and if you're only thinking about money and not building that relationship with people, then I honestly don't believe that you can get far. So is it worth it? Yes, it is, if you're in it for the right reasons. There are so many costs involved with being a real estate agent, and it is not something that everybody can afford to do. If you have another job, don't quit that. All right. When I decided to get my license, I was a pharmacy technician working at Walgreens, and even though I was dabbling in some other things, that was my main job, and I was like, this ain't it. I'm ready to be what I want to be, so I decided to go ahead and do it. But I saved up some money first because, again, I had a little bit of knowledge as far as what to expect, and cost is one of those, like, the number one thing that you need to think about when you're actually getting into it, because again, it costs to take the exam, it costs to take the course, it costs to actually get the license. You have to pay to actually get your license. Okay, you have to sign up with the brokerage, and a lot of them have costs associated with them. You have to pay for subscription services. It costs to become a realtor. It costs to remain a realtor. Okay, there is like $200 or $300 to sign up for the course. Okay, I think it's like $90 to apply for your license. And this is in Maryland, so I know that it varies everywhere, but pretty much it's going to be like this. What else? There's a cost for the exam, and I don't remember what that was, but there is a cost to actually take it. I think it was like $70, something like that. Some brokerages cost, if you want to have an office space, then you have to pay for that. If you're okay with just working like at the cubicle on the main work area, then that's cool too. So they probably won't charge you for an office space, but a lot of them charge you for like printer, like if you want to print out copies, or if you want to use their services. And I think that like some of them might even do it even if you do use. I think the first place that I went to, I had to pay like a coffee fee or whatever. I think it was called like a sunshine fee. I can't remember what it was, but you have to pay for things like coffee, you have to pay for paper, you have to pay for like the pens that you use, stuff like that. Okay, and it adds up, and you're thinking, okay, whatever, it's just a few cents here and there, 25 cents, 75 cents, but those things add up. And then at the end of the month, when you have to pay them and you don't have a settlement because you're a brand new agent, and it does not happen that way, you don't become an agent and get the business, then you can find yourself in debt before you even have a chance to really get started. So save your money and research what it costs to actually become and to remain a real estate agent, so that you A, have that money set up to initially get in, and B, you know how much money you need to continue to make in order to remain a real estate agent and run a successful business. Now, as far as going ahead and jumping in, like I said, I had a job, but I did not keep my job. I was someone who was fortunate enough to be able to quit because my husband was working full-time as well, and he was able to like take the cost of everything while I started my new business. However, I did have my money saved up from my job to be able to take the initial hit from all the stuff that I had to pay for to be able to become a real estate agent in the first place. So I advise you, whether you have a spouse who can, take the cost of some of the other bills and stuff like that, whether you have that or whether you're by yourself or whether you have family you can lean on, I advise you to not quit your job as soon as you become a real estate agent. There are so many costs that I think that at least for the first 3 months, while you get your footing and while you learn all the things that you need to do in order to run a successful real estate business, I think that you should keep something on the side. Even if you're driving for Uber or DoorDash or something, I think that you should keep something on the side. If you don't have a blog or a YouTube channel or like a Amazon store or anything like that, then, or like an eBay store, just like, where you sell merchandise or anything, I just don't think that it's a good idea for you to 100% wholeheartedly jump in and put all of that pressure on somebody else to be able to financially support your business if you can't help out with that. But if you do it and it works for you, cool. That's just my opinion. If you're at a job that you hate and you want to get out of there, then use that as motivation to become super knowledgeable and to gain clients and to be able to run your business the right way. Use that so that you can say bye to them. But you have to have some money. You have to have a fund set up for you to be able to say, peace, I'm gone, I'm out, I can't stay in this place, I ain't never got to see y'all again, unless you need me to sell you a house. So, jump in slowly, but definitely take the plunge if you feel like it's for you. And the last thing that I want to say is take your time. It is okay to take your time when you become a real estate agent, because not only is there so much to learn, but everybody who reaches out to you deserves a little bit of they deserve a little bit of patience. They deserve your undivided attention. When you're getting started, knowledge is not going to be everything. Time is not going to be everything. You're not going to get a bunch of leads. Well, you're probably not going to get a bunch of leads thrown at you. You're going to have to go out and prospect for those things. So I really do think it's important for you to narrow down on maybe one at a time, one source of business at a time, and really try it out. So if you decided that you don't mind being on the phones cold calling, then actually do that. Get on the phones every single day, make it a habit, and do only that source of prospecting. And if you don't mind going to people's doors and you feel like you could build a good rapport with people face to face, then go knock on doors and focus on that slowly. And if you want to do social media marketing, then put your money into that because it costs. So, like go ahead and put a little bit of money or a little bit of, elbow grease or whatever into doing some of the free things for social media, but just like put yourself into that and then do that for a while and then start something else for a while, then start something else for a while. But it's okay to take your time instead of just jumping in and trying to do everything that you see everybody else doing, because then you're going to be all over the place. And I did make that mistake. I was all over the place at first, but then I realized, okay, let me go ahead and figure out what works best for me and then focus in on that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, number one thing, research. Number two thing is cost. Well, I would say the number one thing is cost. Then the number two thing is research. And when you're doing your research, make sure that you research brokerages as well. A lot of people don't research brokerages until it's time to get their actual license, and they have to find a place to hang their license, because you cannot practice real estate without hanging your license somewhere. So, or you cannot be a real estate agent without hanging your license at a brokerage. So doing research on types of brokerages and interviewing different brokerages or brokers is super important, because again, it's a lot of cost. And if you're going somewhere and it just is not working for you, it sometimes it's trial and error. Like with me, it's trial and error, and I had to feel certain things and just see if I could work certain places. But a lot of that could be eliminated for you if you do that research beforehand. So if you know somebody who's thinking about it, or if you're thinking about like jumping into the industry, just please take these precautions before you do, and just make sure that you do everything the right way so that you don't find yourself lost or in a bad situation after you become a real estate agent. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.